So let's start from the beginning. Okay. So where did this spark for cars come from when you started? Where does your story begin?
It was a childhood dream which started when I was just 7 8 year old, and uh, we used to live near the Khetri Maharaja's palace, and there I used to watch whenever Maharaja used to go out in his cars. I used to love watch these cars for hours and hours, And whenever I used to fly kites and all, and kite used to go near the palace, so I just used to ran. I used to leave the kite, but I used to stand to see the cars. And once the Maharaja had like almost 60, 70 cars. It was a rich state. So the dream and the journey started from there only.
Okay. Every little boy has a dream garage. What did your dream garage as a kid have? Like what cars did you want to own like when you grew up?
See, when I was a child, I used to like the shape of a Dodge 6 so much that I was not my to my knowledge, brand was not the theme that time. That time, a particular car was a theme. The particular design was a theme. So I loved that car, and uh, I was so fortunate enough to to own that car. That was my first collection also. So when I was here and I started earning, I bought that first car of Maharaja Khetri.
So do you have it still in your fleet?
Yes, yes, yes. Then I bought around 7 cars from Maharaja's fleet.
Okay. So among after that, maybe like you obviously progressed to knowing the brands and everything like that. So from there, what were the cars that you wanted to buy after that, and what have you achieved? What now? Among them, which ones have you been able to buy yourself and own?
See, in the beginning, when I bought these cars of Maharaja Khetri, my purpose of buying cars was just acquiring them. That's all. And then I was not knowing how to restore them. My knowledge was very limited that time. But slowly, slowly, gradually, the interest was also becoming. I was picking up more information, and slowly, slowly, I have started becoming. I started picking up good cars. So earlier, the motive was just to pick up the car. Any car which is coming to me, I was just buying, buying, buying. But then in 2007 onwards, I've started picking up cars. I was choosing the brand-wise cars, more valuable cars. So earlier my buys were like 4-day models, Chevys, Dodge, Plymouth, DeSoto. Now I'm buying Bentley, Rolls. Now my dream cars are Spanish Souza, Sato Francini, Duesenbergs. I have 243 cars now, and I've just bought a 1948 drop head coupe of previously owned by Maharani of Baroda in Spain.
Okay.
So I'm now looking
What
for.
car is that?
It's a 1948 Bentley drop head coupe.
Okay.
So in 1957, somebody bought from the Maharaja of Baroda from here, and he exported it to US. And then another guy bought this car from that US citizen in 1965. And now I have bought from the guy who bought that car from the US guy. Now I'll bring that car very soon in India.
Okay. So you restore these yourself, or you have a team like you person to restore?
This hobby, when I have started, collecting cars, I'm a totally non-technical person, but slowly, 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 when you start restoring your cars, you read, you when you read more, you pick up information, and slowly, slowly, the information becomes knowledge. So that way, in last 14 years, now I can say I know little bit of it, and I have to learn a lot. The journey has just started. So I don't know where it will take me, but so that's.
Okay. So, what is the social attitude towards vintage cars in India and like Delhi? What do people
See,
think about that?
what I have seen is whether a boy of 10-year-old or a 15-year-old or a 20-year-old or a guy of 80-year-old, every one of them, I have seen them, they relate with these cars. See, for youngsters, they learn the evolution of cars, how the cars evolved from 1886 to the present cars. There is a lot of huge change they see in the design patterns of these cars. The old people, they relate that, oh, this is the bygone era, we have seen them running on the roads. So everyone relates that way, and people praise it like anything. Whenever we drive these cars on roads, and I've seen people become crazy. They just overtake you, cross you, and stop you and ask from where you got this? Is this for sale? We also want to have the car. Or you will find a lot of people just start clicking pictures whenever you're on the road. So I think whatever class you belong to, whatever age you are into, everyone likes these cars.
So, what are the challenges to own something like this and have a collection like this? And what is the government stand on it in terms of taxes and?
See, government is totally non-supportive at all. Totally non-supportive. Because there is no one who actually who owns that, or the guys who are in the government, they are not knowledgeable about them. So that's one of the reason I think there is no one to actually take this cost there in the government.
Okay. So the tax for this, do they charge you tax or road tax or something like this, or it's tax exempted?
Yeah, that way I think police also is very cool about that. Whenever you are on the road, they are not very fussy about stopping you, and they don't disturb you that way. So I'll really praise them for that. That they also respect that people who are into collection of these cars, they are doing a real good for the society by bringing back these cars into life. And this is actually a national heritage, and it's so much of pain to restore a car. You invest money, you invest time, and you invest your resources, and you can't drive them every day. You drive them only for just few days in a year. But for that, you pay for the maintenance whole of the year. You invest money whole of the year, you invest time whole of the year. So, just to keep that car in shape.
Okay. So like you said, let's come down to the cars now itself. Like you said, you own about 241 cars.
43 now.
43 now. And about 91 bikes as far as I know.
99 now.
99. Okay, so it just keeps growing more,
Yes.
more and more. So what I'm keenly interested in is the Dodge 6. So we'll get to that in a bit, but let's start with this. So can you tell me the story behind this one?
This car is a 1930 DeSoto. It was previously owned by the Maharaja of Ajaygarh. Ajaygarh comes in Bundela, Bundelkhand. And this car was actually, this is a very rare car. DeSoto was a brand of Chrysler Corporation. So Chrysler Corporation used to make 4 brands: Chrysler, Dodge, DeSoto, Plymouth. So their most premium range was Chrysler, second was Dodge, then DeSoto. But some of the models were straight from the Chrysler line. So this was one of them.
Okay. So you also have the Austin over there at the back. So what's the story behind that one?
That Austin was used in the Lakshmi Nivas Palace and Lalgarh Palace of Bikaner for the young small prince and princess to be to be used by they were using this car within the palace premises.
Okay.
So that one the palace is around 200-acre big. So from one part to other part, they were using this car to travel.
And you have the Sunbeam and Norton over here. So could you tell me more about those two, the bikes?
This Norton is a 550cc, and the other bike, the Sunbeam, is a 636cc.
Okay.
So that 636cc is a Sunbeam which was owned by the Maharaja of Kolhapur, and he used to hunt crocodiles.
On the bike.
Not on the bike, but because to hunt them, he used to use some tracks where he can't take his car. So he used to use the bike to reach those places, to hunt them and to carry them. There was a carrier also behind that.
Okay.
So to carry one or two crocodiles and then come.
And what conditions did you find these?
They were in rotten conditions.
Completely.
Totally rotten conditions.
And how long did it take you to restore all of these?
So every car, whatever the brand is, you need at least 1.5 years to restore one car. Depend on then how rare is the car. If the spare parts are available, then it's little easier to restore, and it's easy to finish the car in lesser time also. But most of the cars, it takes more than 1 year, and it can go up to 2 years.
Okay. And about these spare parts, how difficult are they to find? For example, Chrysler. Would you be able to call up Fiat Chrysler today and say, I have this car, I want to restore it. Would you be able to help me? Something like that?
See, there is a Chrysler Club,
Okay.
which really helps you, no doubt in that. But there's no guarantee you just order and get the parts. Like I'm restoring few cars where I'm waiting from last 7-8 months to get the parts, but I'm not getting, because there is no availability of parts. Then now what we do is because we always want to restore the car to its 100% originality. We want to restore it to 100% originality. For that, you need original spare parts. But now the technology is too good. If you are ready to pay more, you can actually invest in making dies, and then you can actually make good parts out of those dies, and you can use them for the restoration.
So we're coming to the final question. The 21 Gun Salute, the Vintage Car Rally, that this is the 5th edition, and so could you tell me more about that? And 21 Gun Salute, the name, where does that come from? What's the significance of that?
Actually, what happened was we were starting this restaurant, and it took 8 months to build this restaurant, and the theme was royalty. So how the royalty used to live, we have tried to shown everything here. So their old photographs, their clocks, the accessories they used to use, their photographs, cars, bikes. So we have tried to assemble few things at one place where people can come, they can taste the royal food. With that, they can actually enjoy that food in a royal ambience. So we have tried to make it like that. So we have completed this restaurant, and then we were thinking of to name this restaurant. And it was just 1 week left, and there was no name for this restaurant. Then we have invited almost 40 people from various walks of life and some consultants who were involved in building up this restaurant. And from morning 10 o'clock to up to 4 o'clock in the evening, we have written more than 1,000 names. But it was so difficult to finalize any name, because if somebody suggested some name, it was there somewhere else. So and then they were just talking. So one of my managers, he just said, "Sir, the biggest Maharaja was Maharaja of Patiala, because he was a Sikh, so he just started praising that. So I said, no. The British hierarchical system was not like that. The biggest Maharajas were called biggest as per their gun salutes, and so I have written on the blackboard. So the highest honor was given to the Maharajas who used to own the maximum number of army, what revenue, maximum number amount of revenue they used to generate, and the land they used to own. So 5 states were honored with 21 gun salutes, then 5 were with 19, then 30 with 17, same way 15, then 13, then 11, and 9 was the lowest. So then I said 21 gun salute was the highest honored Maharaja line. So my brother said 21 gun salute.
So that's where the name comes from.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when after 1 year of inauguration of this restaurant, we were in a process of starting a rally also. So we thought like, what to name again. So I thought like, because the rally is also, we relate our rally with royalty, cars, and most of these cars in India were imported by Maharajas or their Thakurs or the states attached to the states that time. So all was related to royalty. So we thought like, this is also with royalty. So 21 gun salute, because it's the highest level of honor. So we will name it 21 gun salute International Vintage Car Rally.
Okay.
And this year, this will be the first time in the history of India that cars are participating from Singapore, Malaysia, and UK.
Okay.
It's the first time international cars are participating.
All right.